Hi! I am about to tell you a story about the Velveteen Rabbit. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a little girl named Elsa. She lived with her grandmother in a small cottage near the woods. Elsa's parents had passed away when she was just a baby, and her grandmother was the only family she had. One winter night, as Elsa and her grandmother sat by the fireplace, the grandmother told her a story about a little match girl who sold matches in the streets on a snowy night. Elsa was fascinated by the story and asked her grandmother if she could sell matches too. But her grandmother, being an old and wise woman, knew how harsh the winter nights could be and refused to let Elsa go out. However, Elsa was persistent and begged her grandmother until she finally gave in. The grandmother gave Elsa a small box of matches and a warm coat to wear. She warned her to come back home before midnight and not to stray too far from their cottage. Excited, Elsa ran out into the cold, snowy night with her box of matches. She started selling them on the streets, but nobody seemed to be interested. Soon, her matches ran out, and Elsa felt disheartened. As she was about to head back home, she saw a beautiful carriage passing by. It was the prince's carriage, and he was on his way to the palace. Elsa knew that the prince was known for his kindness and decided to ask him for help. She ran after the carriage and caught up with it. The prince was surprised to see a little girl running after his carriage in the middle of the night. He stopped the carriage and asked Elsa what she wanted. Elsa explained her situation and asked the prince to buy her matches. The prince was moved by her innocence and bought all her matches. He also gave her a warm cloak to wear and asked her to come with him to the palace. Elsa was overjoyed, and she followed the prince to the palace. There, the prince introduced her to his parents, the king and the queen. They were impressed by Elsa's courage and invited her to stay with them for the night. The palace was warm and cozy, and Elsa was amazed by its grandeur. She was served delicious food and given a soft bed to sleep in. But as the clock struck midnight, Elsa remembered her grandmother's warning and realized that she needed to head back home. As she was leaving, the prince gave her a magical locket as a gift. He told her that it would protect her and guide her back home. Elsa thanked the prince and left the palace. But as she was walking through the snowy woods, she realized that she had lost her way. She was cold and tired, and the night was getting darker. She started to feel scared and wished she had listened to her grandmother's warning. That's when she remembered the locket the prince had given her. She opened it, and a bright light emanated from it, leading her through the woods. The locket guided her safely back home to her grandmother's cottage. Elsa was grateful for the prince's kindness and the magical locket that had saved her from getting lost in the woods. She promised to always listen to her grandmother's advice and never wander off into the unknown again. And that's how Elsa learned the importance of being careful and grateful for the help of others.